In the cut.
Yeah, hello, what's going on? Welcome everybody to Live in the Cut, the Decoded series. Today I'm super excited to break down one of my favorite up and coming artists, the young and hungry. Like this dude is, since I heard his first, literally all his freestyles, very lyrical individual, and not only lyrical, but this guy is genius when it comes to marketing and branding and being an independent artist. The one and the only LaRussell from the Bay. Shout out to the Bay, Vallejo's finest. And before we dive into it, I want to say hello to everybody. What's going on YouTube? What's going on Twitch, Facebook? If you're watching a recording, make sure you show some love. And if you've seen this for the very first time, and in this series, Decoded, we are breaking down, some of our favorite artists, some of the most prolific artists in the world right now, and in the past, and really just diving into their lyrics, and their work, kind of breaking down their words, decoding what they were, speaking on, and there's so much to learn from these artists, man. There's so much game to learn from all these artists, and the answers that a lot of us are looking for branding, for being an entrepreneur, for being a just a creator, are in these lyrics, man. And that's why I love breaking these down. It's you get to hear the story, you get to hear just a breakdown, and for me, I'm a big learner with stories, and I can't think of a better way to learn but mix the two, right? Mixing, two of my favorite things, which is music, and mixing and decoding, the moves, the game, the business plays, and just so many other things about life through these through the lyrics. So again, if you saw the flyer, today's track of choice is going to be LaRussell's 2021 Freestyle. And if you've never heard of LaRussell before, he will be your favorite rapper by the end of this. So let's see if we can break this down into it. And if you were on the last live, If you want to recap on that, we were breaking down Jay-Z's and Nas's video track called Success from their previous album that came out in about 2007 when American Gangster came out. And that the last Decoded series, that's what I was breaking down. It was really one of my favorite pieces of work in that whole, besides the movie, but in that whole entire project. So if you are into Jay-Z, you a Jay-Z fan, you a Nas fan, definitely want to check out that last video. But again, for this one, we going with the West Coast, right? We started off in the East Coast, and now we're going with the West Coast. Shout out to the West Coast family. So we're gonna dive right into it, right? We're gonna dive right into it, and then let me just give some background, right, for people that don't know who LaRussell is, right? LaRussell, he has right now, if you go to his Instagram, this guy, the amount of content this guy's producing, the team that he has, it's an in-house team. It's all family. Literally, he has he created like his own stage, his own ticketing platform. He created his own platform for people to buy, to purchase artist music, which I'm going to touch on. So many things that this guy is not only creating, but really reinventing the wheel on. And that's why I say he's like on genius level. So, so we're going to be speaking about, again, the freestyle, and then we're going to be breaking down his platform called Even, which is really the platform is what changing the game for independent artists, using blockchain technology and Web3. So for those of my, in the audience, in the chat, that you guys are into, NFTs, you're into the crypto, you're into that space, and you're kind of like, man, I don't know how can I invest into crypto, and you don't really understand it. What the model that he's using, that he's creating, is the foundation of what's happening in Web3 on the blockchain, which has everything to do with the cryptocurrency world or the digital world. So let me get into this real quick. Let's add this and let's make it like this. Cool. So I'm going to be chopping this up. I'm going to be pausing. I'm going to be, just for one, to share the thoughts, and then copyright things for sure. So let's break this down. Boom. And we press play on this. Let's go.
Yeah. Feel me? End up making 2020 my bitch. All my niggas getting splits. And fuck your top 10 if I ain't make it on the list. Let's see who be around when it's 2026. Nah, that's the ego talking. I'm trying to learn to coexist. I can't always steer the ship. I don't always win, but I always take the risk. Drop the 100 songs, everything won't be a hit. They never cheer for you till it go over the fence. Never too convinced, I get off on the suspense. Cop the OnlyFans, just helping her with the rent. Shit breaking hearts have never been my intent. Hold on, don't judge me, let me vent. I love pretty women that smoke weed and fuck well. I'm a walnut, yeah, that's me in a nutshell. I've been fucking hoes since Bonnie had the ducktail. Beat up Air Forces, peacoat yelling fuck 12. Rapping my ass off, still broke, I just got my cast off. Rocket on me, Bonnie next to me yelling blast off. I let it rip like I'm trying to take the tag off. Faux ply, you really ain't that guy, boy, your ass off. You ain't gotta be a street nigga to be a real nigga. You ain't gotta lie in your songs and say you kill niggas. I ain't trying to hear all that fake shit, I don't feel niggas. That's your big homie, why you always with the lil niggas? I don't understand, I probably never will. Haven't signed a deal, I probably never will. Tell your nigga chill, he aggressive off them pills. Help them get addicted but won't help that nigga heal. Hanging out with rats that wanna kill them when they squeal. It's y'all niggas for real. Everything about the bag.
Hold on. Hold on. If this is your first time hearing LaRussell, and you heard that first verse and you thought that was fire, drop some fire emojis in the chat. And if you into freestyles, if you're into that type of, if you know who this is, trust me, by the end of this, you're gonna be a fan of him and the project that he's, the projects that he's building. But let's just run that back, because there was so much in that first verse that I want to break down. And yes, there's a lot of he's a very animated with his vocabulary, let's just say. So let's just break this down. So I'm gonna skip down to kind of like the ending of that verse, and he says, end up making 2020 all my ninjas getting splits, and F your top 10 if I ain't make it on the list. Let's see who's around when it's 2026. So this guy's thinking way ahead of time. He made this in 2021. So not way ahead of time, but he's a forward thinker, right? And, as someone who's an entrepreneur, someone who is in business, someone who has a brand or a vision, I always think of that as well. Like, what's my 5-year plan, right? And, I feel like, especially the days when you feel off track, when you feel, you feel kind of lost. I'm huge on like going back, and seeing like, what was my 5-year goal? It kind of gets you back in realignment with what again, because it's easy to get distracted in this world. So, he's forward thinker, saying, look, let's see who's around in 2026. He made this freestyle in 2021. He's like, nah, that's the ego talking. I'm trying to coexist. I can't always steer the ship. I don't always win, but I always take the risk. That's it sounds so much more simple than it is, man. And I remember, very early on in my career as an entrepreneur, or even, even you could break down in sports, right? Like there was an example where he was like, man, if this was a home run derby, right? He broke this down, and I love this analogy. He said, if we were in a home run derby, right? We had a minute to make as many home runs as we can. And you only swung 10 times in that minute. Well, it ain't rocket science that you only going max 10. The max you could ever do is 10. And what I get from that is, not always winning doesn't mean every hit that every swing that you're gonna make ain't gonna be a home run. And it's completely fine, because at the end of the day, at least you swung the bat. And if you don't swing the bat, it's an automatic 0. So, right now I'm what comes to mind is social media, right? Like, there's a lot of content creators. There's a lot of business owners that are like, small business owners, especially, where you got to take care of your social media. And, you ever edited a video, right? Like you ever edited a video, right? You got the content recorded. It's nice and clean. And, you put the time and the effort to edit this video. Maybe you paid somebody to do it. And now you're on this video, or now you have your video ready to post. And by the time you're like done with the caption and really just at that second of posting, it's like, nah, you know what? I don't like how I look in this video. I'm not going to post it. Or, I misspelled something in the captions. You know what? I gotta take this down. Or, I wasn't wearing the right fit, or I wasn't, so many things that are stopping you from posting. This happened to me like 2 weeks ago, where I spent 30 minutes creating content, and I'm like, damn, I put all this effort, and I didn't even post it because I felt some sort of way about it. And, you know, I'm not looking, I just had to tell myself, like, I'm not looking to get 1,000 likes or shares or, you know, whatever it is, like whatever the response is. What I'm realizing that what it is that we just have to push the content out there. And it's like a gym, really, it's really like the gym because, a lot of people is like, man, I've been to the gym 30 days straight. I've been posting content 30 days straight. I've been in the bar, I've been in the barbershop cutting hair 30 days straight. I've been, running my business 30 days straight. And then you see no results. So, it's easy to just quit on that 30th day or whatever that day is, a year, or, whatever that time span for you is. And again, just like exactly like the gym, just because you went for 30 days straight, it don't mean the six pack is gonna come on that next day. What it comes down to is you're gonna see the fruits of your labor 2 months after, 3 months after. Same thing with content. You could be posting content 30 days straight. You might not get the hits that you're looking for right then and there, especially the way Instagram is working right now. Instagram is pretty interesting. Like, you might post something today that might go viral 2 weeks from now. Case in point, one of the videos that we had that we had done, we posted it, and my first few days of posting it, there was like maybe a few hundred views. Didn't really think it was going anywhere, and then died out, like literally nothing. I was posting other things after, nothing happened, and then literally a week later, out of nowhere, this video gets a bunch of likes, a bunch of views, and it reaches to like 4,000, 5,000 views. I'm like, wow, I posted this 2 weeks ago. How is this still getting hits? And I'm realizing it's just how the algorithm is. To this day, this thing is still getting hits. This is like almost 2 months later. 2 months later, and it's still like racking up. I think we're like at 15,000 views, which is in the boatload. But I just understood that not every video is gonna get that, but you just got to keep swinging that bat. You got to keep taking that risk. So, love that part when he breaks that down. All right, cool. So let's go here. So he goes, dropped 100 songs, everything won't be a hit. Literally what we was just talking about. They never cheer for you till it go over the fence. Home run, right? Never too convinced, I get off on the suspense. That's a line right there. Never too convinced, I get off on the suspense, right? And he breaks that down in a way where, what I think about is the hunt of the game, the hunt, aka the game, aka the process. And that's really what this is, right? If you see the last episode, that's what we were talking about is, you might have an end goal, which you might be excited about, but the in-between on how to get to this, this end goal, that's where the suspense is, the risk is, and that's where he's living at. So he said, let's see, where did I break off? Everything won't be a hit. They never cheer for you till it go over the fence. Never too convinced, I get off on the suspense. Cop to OnlyFans, just helping to pay the rent. Let me go down a little bit because this part is just funny. He said, hold on, don't judge, let me vent. Break down. Let me break down because there's a couple lines here that are just real vulgar. And I love it, but again, I want to break down the value here. So you ain't gotta be a street ninja to be a real ninja. You ain't gotta lie in your songs and say you kill ninjas. I ain't trying to hear all that fake ish. I don't feel ninjas. That's your big homie. Why are you always with the little ninjas? I don't understand, and I probably never will. Haven't signed a deal, I probably never will. This is where he, this is where he's never going to sign a deal because one, he understands the unfairness of what labels are doing, but because of that, he created another platform for artists, independent artists, to break down, to get paid direct using Web3 technology. So I kind of want to break that part down, right? Because it's a big deal, right? A lot of people, you might have heard, for if you follow a couple artists, they were using Web3 to kind of break down what not break down, but to kind of market their projects. So I know Meek Mills was doing it. There's a few artists that was doing it, and LaRussell is just one who was able to create a platform for all artists, for all independent artists, to do so. So this platform is actually called Even, right? So the platform he got is called Even. And this is big right here because this platform is really, he's the first to really execute and really kill what's kill this game of and break the door down of what Web3 can do. This is just like really just the tip of the iceberg and what's happening in Web3. So before I break this down, I see you guys, YouTube, what's going on? Make sure you say hello. If you haven't said hello yet, this is your time to say hello. Drop a share. This is your time to pay your chat taxes and show some love. So if you haven't already, drop that like, drop that share. Appreciate y'all. Make sure you say hello. My cousin Rachel, what's going on? Omar, I see you. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. All right, cool. So let's break this down because I'm real impressed. Like I've been trying to figure out how Web3 can affect small businesses and entrepreneurs, and this, if you didn't really understand what was happening in the whole Web3 crypto and blockchain, if you didn't really understand it, this is kind of like, it's going to give you a little preview of what it is, right? So, again, this is because he was running into issues with labels. He was able to, again, create his own platform called Even, right? And here's a few facts on the platform Even that might impress y'all. One, anybody could, any artist, any independent artist could be on the platform, right? They're supporting independent artists without requiring them to give up ownership. So you got to understand, ownership, once you sign to a label, you do not own your masters. You are, you're kind of at the mercy of what the label wants to do with your piece of work. And here with Even, you get to keep all your work, right? So the point is, they want to build a community that's all inclusive, and to get access to the music, right? This is actually a huge kicker. They're allowing you to pay whatever you want for the music, for the merch, for the shows. They call it the what do they call it? They call it the offer-based model, right? Where, for example, his album, the album just dropped. So you could pay anywhere from $1,000, above $1,000. You could pay $500, $250. You could pay as low as $5. And when it comes down to social media, people are always, especially businesses, we're big on building a community. We're big on building a network. So you want to have, you're looking to have a lot of followers and in your community. So there was a story big story with the Catch Me Outside chick, Baddie whatever her name. Sorry, I don't remember her name, but she did a real good. She actually did a real good move. And what she did was she basically did the math. She said, "Yo, I got like 15 million followers on Instagram. 15 million followers on Instagram, and I'm not seeing a dime from them." And it's like, why did I build so much here where on YouTube I could have gave the same amount of attention, built the same following, and got paid for my following and my viewership? Same thing with OnlyFans, right? Shout out to OnlyFans. But so she decided, she said on Instagram, what she did was she said, she took off all the content on Instagram and put one last post and said, "Hey, I'm actually only going to be posting on OnlyFans." So she converted the 15 million followers that, again, gave her $0 up front at least, and switched over to OnlyFans. And she wasn't posting nudity or provocative things like that. It was just her taking her brand and switching it to a platform that paid. And she ended up, even if you could just figure out the math, let's just say it was $5 to be a part of her OnlyFans. I didn't look into it, but let's just say it was $5. And out of that 15 million, let's just say even 10% converted. At least she got paid for that 10%, times that by 5, whatever that number is. She had gotten compensated for it. And so LaRussell is doing the same exact thing. LaRussell said, "Hey, I got a lot of followers, good people that really love and support what I do. But I know that everybody can't pay $100 for an album, right? I know that everybody can't pay $100, $70, $80 for merch for a hoodie, right? And if you buying hoodies nowadays, hoodies ain't like what they used to be. They ain't $40, hoodies no more, right? At least, decent quality ones, especially if a small business is making them and making them from scratch. Like, you ain't finding $40 hoodies." But he understood that people, your true fans, not everybody's going to be able to afford what you do. So he created this offer-based model, right? And the offer-based model said, "Listen, you want this hoodie? Cool. You can give me anywhere from $1,000 to $5. It's really up to you. You want this album I'm dropping? Cool. It's anywhere from that. Really, it's any number, right? But the point though is that the people that really, just to give you some numbers, right, on his album sales. Just to give you some numbers on the album sales. Let me see if I could find this. Just to give you some numbers, because this was pretty crazy. So with this is just with the offer-based model in 24 hours, right? On his first day, album sales on the platform even, right? One, he's giving access to everybody that's on even, access to pre-order everything. So you get like 2-3 weeks before everybody else, right? Sounds familiar if you're into NFTs, right? Sounds familiar. Now, and you get to pay what you want, right? He had a bunch of different tiers. Again, $1,000, $500, $150, $20, boom, all the way up to $5, right? The average sale was $24 for the album. He had one person pay $1,000 for this album. So let's just say there was 75 people that paid $5, right? That one person that paid the $1,000 compensated for everybody else that couldn't pay that price. And what it comes down to is, when you have that one price, or especially when you get to choose, it's very easy to choose the least amount, right? But there's a caveat here, right? Because this is connected to the blockchain and connected to the Web3 and all of that technology. This is actually on the Polygon network. If you know anything about crypto and the different networks, right? what's crazy is now, just like how you hold the NFT and you can earn royalties, imagine being a fan and being able to earn money because you were one of the first people to purchase this album. And that's what's happening on Even. This is crazy. A genius model. Now, when people are paying, because we are using Web3 blockchain technology, you're not getting, artists, they're not getting paid 2-3 months, a year later, which is very common in the industry. People are getting paid on the spot. Everybody gets a split. So we're talking about the artist, the videographer, the promoters, the venues, and most importantly, the fans, because the artist wouldn't be there without the fans. So imagine you investing into your favorite artist. Think about your favorite artist right now, and they said, hey, if you purchase my album right now, let's just say you're one of the top 50, top 100. Because of the blockchain technology, now you're going to be able to earn royalties off of everything that happens after this. That is a game changer. And it's happening, right? It's proven. It's happening. This is what's going on in the cryptocurrency world, and now you're seeing it develop though with something that's tangible, right? Something like music, something like again merch, which is pretty cool. Eventually, what they want to do is you're going to be able to earn your way to go see, not only earn your way, but because you were one of the first people to purchase the album, you're gonna have. It's kind of like, think about a membership, right? You're gonna have access to a bunch of different things because you paid up front for this quote unquote membership, and this has been happening. Artists have been doing membership based deals for a long time. We just never really, unless your favorite artist is doing it, you're not really paying attention to it. But look at the Beatles. If you look at their model, the Beatles have done something similar where they have and this was obviously before Web3, but they just did a traditional membership. And people that have access to that membership, well, they get access to pre-sale tickets, songs, shows, merch. The only thing that's different with Web3 is, like I said, people are getting paid upfront in person, and you get as a fan, not only that I invest in you as an artist, but now I'm getting a thank you back because I was one of the first ones to do so. It's actually pretty nuts. So the total revenue on Even on day one was $27,000, and the average price was $24 for an album. He sold a total of 1,134 albums on his first day. Right? So again, the payout is instant. So the $27,000 of revenue that they had, the revenue the pay was instant. So, and now you have full access. So let's just say you equivalent that to streaming, right? Right? If you equivalent that to streaming, which is one of the traditional ways that independent artists kind of do work, right? You go on Spotify, Apple Music, things like that. You would still have to have a fan base. You would still have to get the same people amount to stream. And let's just say you're getting, 3 cents per stream. This is what the deals are when they're paying, right? To get $27,000 in revenue, you would have to have 18 million fans and 9 million streams to get the same exact revenue. And the payout isn't instant. The payout is 2 to 3 months. So it's a game changer if you are an independent artist that wants to really grow and earn upfront and really build it. They call it it's like the word they used was title, but even, right? Which is title, but like evenly paid out, evenly shared. Everybody gets a split, right? So it's actually pretty nuts. And just to give if you guys don't understand, like, I think just to give you some background context before we break down the latter half of this episode, the latter half of this freestyle, which is my personal favorite part. Beyonce on her first week, she did 3,000 albums, right around that ballpark. I think the other person that was on that list might have been Lil Baby, the Baby at 1,000 sales as well. So he's up there. He's up there with the greats right now. At least some of the hottest that are out right now. So again, it's a pay what you want model, right? Or we calling it the offer up model, right? And did I miss anything? Yes, so it's called the offer up model. You get to pay whatever you want for the shows, the merch, the music, and all the other different commodities. And literally, if you're an artist, like this is something to take note on, possibly even get on the platform. Like this is the first thing I would suggest. So it's such a, it's really a game changer. The offer up model. So before we break this second part down, man, one, again, YouTube, hello, Facebook, what's going on? And I want to shout out to a bunch of independent artists that are out there, or independent artists and small businesses. If you're a small business that wants to get your name out, you want to get your brand out, you're looking to expand your network, and share your story. Really was more important, because a lot of people don't get to see small, especially the owners of small businesses. They don't get to see their face because they're so busy being in the trenches. If that's you want to share your story, you want to get on the show, or maybe you're an artist that is a rapper or a singer that you want to share your music and share your backstory here live in the cut. Reach out to us. Go to our site, inthecut.live, and from there you'll be able to connect with us and make your way on the show so you can share your story and expand your brand. I would love to help you on that. So feel free to reach out to us, shoot me a DM, or connect with us on the site, and we could go from there. So let's go to the second half of this freestyle. Again, my favorite part, and we'll jump right into it.
Came here with game, but ain't no setting. They milling out with rats and want to kill them when they squeal. It's y'all niggas for real. Everything about the bag. Came here with game, but ain't no setting, ain't no rag. Niggas throwing signs to a set they never knew. Album full of verses, full of shit they never do. Please put an end to it. Proper communication, that's how men do it. You know how much it hurt if you been through it. Why would you put your next of kin through it? Cause niggas really die over auto-tune lies. Come to where you live just to kill you on live. Focus on yourself, we trying to establish wealth. Got it off the flow, then put it on the shelf. That's called feng shui. How you feel about yourself? Are you incapable or just scared to ask for help? Shit, either way, get the fuck about your way. I'm trying to get a bag and get the fuck about the bay. Might not make a meal, but I damn sure made a way. Put my niggas on and split the pie from every play. Don't think I'm the best because the type of shit I say. Nigga, I'm the best cause I practice every day. 10,000 shots, I'm trying to retire pops. And fuck bad bitches in my Crocs, no socks. I'll shoot a cop before I ever kill a op. I'll be dead before I be something I'm not. With nothing left in me cause I gave it all I got. Bitches Northside, GC until I rot. Yeah.
Oh man. Come on. This is really my favorite part of this this song. And this song is the one that went, this freestyle is really the one that went viral, how I discovered him. There's just so much game that he gives. So he goes, let's break this down. He goes, everything about the bag. Came in here with the gang, ain't no satin, ain't no rag. Ninjas throwing signs to a set they never knew. Album full of verses, full of ish they never do. Please put an end to it. Proper communication, that's how men do it. I had to pause on that because I think communication is something that I've really I really take time to work on. As someone who is really just talking to different people all literally all day long, but a lot of issues really, whether it's business wise, whether it's relationship wise, whether it's you know they stem from just poor communication. And I love the fact that he's throwing all of these obvious things out there, but really hits home. So you know how much it hurt if you've been through it. Why would you put your next of kin through it? Because ninjas really lie off for auto-tune lies. Come to where you live just to kill you on live. Right here is where he really breaks down. He says, focus on yourself. We trying to establish wealth. Got it off the floor and put it off the shelf. That's called feng shui. How you feel about yourself? Are you incapable or are you scared to ask for help? Shit, either way, get the fuck up out your way. Trying to get the bag, get the fuck up out the bay. And that right there is really that part right there that really resonated with me the most, because establishing wealth, establishing success, especially when against my fellow people that are small business owners that are coming up, right? A lot of it stems from not knowing, but not only not knowing, is really you just your ego too high to ask for help. And that was me, like very early on in the career. And I've learned, even as a host, right, of the show, I've learned that asking questions, asking for help is an art. And asking the right questions at that, right? There's no such thing as a dumb question, that's for sure. But I realized that you might ask a question to somebody, your mentor or something like that, and the answer that they could possibly give you, or the answer that they have that they would want to give you, they understand that you should probably find this answer on your own, and then come back to me with your thought, and I'll guide you through it, instead of just giving you the answer right here, because you're really not going to learn it. And so a lot of times it made me scared to ask for help, but what it really made me do is really dig and learn how to ask better questions to get me further. So I was in that place, especially being around high profile individuals. You don't want to be like, asking, weird question. Not even weird. I can't even say weird, but it's like, listen, it's you can have $1 question and $1 million question. You want to ask the $1 million questions, right? Because that's what's going to take you further once you get the answer. The person that you're asking, if you ask them that $1 question, they might not even want to answer you, because it's like, man, you might as well, you probably could have went on Google and found that answer. But you didn't waste the time, because again, these people want, we want to give you value, but I could have spent my time answering your $1 million question. So again, as a host, I'm like, man, how can I, what are the questions that's really going to take me to what's that $1 million question that's going to take me there? And I think about that when I'm around individuals that I could, just anybody really, I could, you could learn from anybody. So, those are the type of questions that I think about when I'm going through it. So, how you feel about yourself? Are you incapable? Or are you just scared to ask for help? Either way, get the F about your way. I'm trying to get the bag and get the fuck about the bay. Might not make a meal, but I damn sure made a way. Whew. Put my ninjas on, split the pie from every play. That's a bar, because that's what he's doing on Even, right? On the platform Even, literally put his family on. Like, he has a venue in his backyard, right? He created a venue in his backyard for performances, a stage, food, lighting. He has porta potties in his backyard. This is in Vallejo. The nice porta potties apparently, which is which is crazy to me. But he's doing it in his backyard. The reason why is because, again, genius level. He ran through an obstacle with venues where it's like, man, I'm trying to go on tour every single day, and because of dates and that had to align, he was like, man, F that. I'm gonna just do this in my backyard. And he made it all in house. His friends, his family, the merch. He got his whole family. He's that, and he's doing work as well. Like, granted, he's a phenomenal rapper, but this guy's in the trenches. He's pressing shirts. He's pressing merch. He's performing in his backyard daily. He got his pops cooking on the grill, food. And what happened? This is what happened. You could have paid $1,000 for the album. You could have paid $5 for the album. But now you are part of the community. You get to eat as much as you want. You get to go to the shows, get access, all inclusive. Whether you paid $5, $100, or $1,000. So it's actually a pretty genius model. Trying to get a bag and get about the bay. Might not make a meal, but I damn sure made a way. I don't think I'm the best because the type of ish I say. Nigga, I'm the best because I practice every day. And this, he had his a few more lines after that, but really, like, so many gems in this. But really that part was one of my favorite parts. And again, if he's not your favorite rapper after this, listen to a few more of his freestyles. I promise you he will be. So now, if you, with the offer based model, that's actually a game changer, right? Because you're basically buying equity into his songs. The same exact way you would buy cryptocurrencies, or if you're thinking about stocks, right? Because you can invest into stocks right now. Somebody, you might not know a thing about stocks, but somebody, that is a little bit more savvy, you might ask them like, hey, I got some couple dollars here, that I a couple $100, maybe $1,000. I got that stimulus check still somehow. You still got the stimulus check now, man. You a trooper, but you haven't spent it yet. But let's just say, I got $1,200 laying around. What should I invest it in? And your friend's probably gonna tell you, oh, invest it into Apple, Microsoft, or some ETFs or index funds. And you're like, man, you don't even know what these are. You might, you know who Apple is, but you don't know what you're really investing in, other than, yes, you see the iPhone, or you're just hearing it from your friend, right? You don't know what they do behind the scenes and things like that. But as an artist that you're supporting, it might not have to be LaRussell, but think about your favorite artist, again, that might partake in this, right? That you want to see win, whether they're up and coming or someone who's well established, man. Like someone like Drake, someone like Kanye, someone like, millions of followers that command that type of audience, man. Even if they did the offer based model and their following paid like $5 each, what? That would be game changing. That is game changing, and it's paid up front. So, going back to the buying into the stock, you get to invest in something that you see and something that you really enjoy, the artist, right? And you invested into them because they're giving you value, right? Whether it's what the lyrics that they're saying, how they made you feel, or any other reason why people go to concerts or support artists. So, I love this offer-based model, honestly. So this is nuts. See, I'm reading something. This is the last thing. One of the last things is that it really is like an all inclusive. He gives you access to everything from music with this offer based model, to merch, to shows, to um, like events, and I want you, I'll be creative, man. I'm gonna get so creative with this offer-based model, and I think it's so genius that everybody could get involved because again, not everybody's gonna be able to afford your price points, but there's people that really, really, really support what you do, and you might be surprised, right? Out of the couple hundred, maybe you have a few hundred followers, maybe you have a few thousand followers, or maybe you have, whatever the case may be. You're gonna be surprised that there might be one or two people that might be willing to pay that $1,000, right? Because they understand the Web3 technology. They understand, they understand how Web3 works, and you can get paid out from your investment as it grows. So it, it's changing the game for independent artists, right? You no longer have to be stuck with the label under having your masters taken from you with somebody else's control. Really, like, I watched this. I watched him break this down, and I was truly inspired, man. Truly, truly inspired. So there's a lot of people that again have no idea who LaRussell is, but I promise you, it's Wednesday, October 5th. I promise you, very soon a lot of people will, and you're gonna see this model popping up more. Whether it's it might not have to be offer based, but it's gonna be on Web3. So super excited to see where this goes from here, and how us as business owners, small business owners, are going to be able to implement this model, right? So if you had a favorite verse, drop it in the chat. If you had a favorite verse, if you had a favorite, maybe you have your own song that impacted you in some way, right? Motivated you in some way. Drop it in the chat. I'll break, we could break it down on a future episode. I have some artists that are already lined up. Again, if you are an artist that's in my network, I know I got a lot of talented friends out there. And you guys are real good at what you do. You want to share your story, you want to share your work. This is the platform to do it. But if you have a favorite song, if you have a favorite, something that motivated you in a way where you're like, man, I could listen to this, or I'll listen to this at the gym, I'll listen to this on my car rides, I listen to this on the train when I'm up at 6 a.m. This gets me going, because that's how I feel when I listen to this, and a lot of what LaRuss was doing. So, but other than that, I appreciate y'all, man. This has been like, there's a lot that's really happening in this world for creators, for independent artists, for entrepreneurs, that LaRussell is implementing right here. Again, don't let his rap and his youthfulness fool you, man. This guy is on another level of genius with what he's doing right now, and it's something that we could all learn from. So, this episode was this episode is one for the books. This freestyle is one for the books, and I can't wait for our next episode of Decoded. Again, if you have an artist or a specific song you want to highlight that we could kind of dissect and learn from, I would love to chop it up and break that down in a future episode. I have artists already in mind, people like Rick Ross, just really a lot of artists. I'm even thinking about artists that speak different languages, right? There's artists that speak different languages that we could learn from. I'm learning from Filipino rappers at the moment. Shout out to Mike Swift, and everything that he has going on as an artist and as an entrepreneur. So there's so much to learn, man, and it's right in front of us, right in the music that we listen to daily. So we'll be back here next week, Wednesday, 9 p.m. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. And if you already haven't, make sure you drop a like, drop a share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you already haven't, it is free until we come up with our own offer-based model, right? And I appreciate y'all for tapping in. I'll see you guys next week, same time, same place. Peace.